strong people of the best country in the world. I want to begin this address with words of congratulations. On my own behalf and on your behalf, on behalf of all our citizens of Ukraine, to the employees of the Security Service of Ukraine. Today is their day. 30 years ago, on March the 25th, the Security Service of our state was founded. The service has come a long way, and we all know that. But we also know that during the 8 years of the war in Donbas and during the 30 days of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, many members of the Security Service have shown themselves from the best heroic side. They have shown themselves principled, courageous and able to inflict losses on the enemy that the enemy does not expect. This is exactly what Ukraine needs now. I am grateful to all our heroes from the Security Service of Ukraine. I am grateful to everyone in the service who during 30 years of our common history broke the plans of enemies and worked in the interests of the Ukrainian people only. Congratulations on the holiday, respect to everyone, and we will always remember all the employees of the service who died for Ukraine while performing tasks to counter Russian aggression. During this month of hostilities, 77 employees of the Security Service were awarded state awards. 2 of them were posthumously awarded the title of Hero of Ukraine. Both distinguished themselves in the battles near Makariv region. Thanks to their courageous actions, the enemy headquarters and more than 20 occupiers were destroyed. I can't tell you the names of our heroes. This is the specifics of the service. But I can say with confidence, the memory of them will truly be eternal. Today I signed a decree on state awards to 63 law enforcement officers of Ukraine. 7 of them were awarded posthumously: police, rescuers, border guards, special service officials of the State Bureau of Investigation, and employees of the Court Protection Service. Thank you to everyone. Over the past week, our heroic armed forces have dealt powerful blows to the enemy, significant losses. They say that the Minister of Defense of Russia has disappeared somewhere. I wonder if he personally wanted to visit Chornobayivka. I am grateful to our defenders who show the occupiers that the sea will not be calm for them even when there is no storm. Because there will be fire, as on those Russian ships that departed this week on the famous route from the port of Berdyansk. I want to warn all traitors of Ukraine who sided with the enemy in Crimea years ago. You switched sides because you thought you would live better, right? Not because you want to repeat the tragic fate of your colleagues who died on those ships or somewhere else on land or at sea in Ukraine. Well, live. Stay as far away from our cities and our army as possible. The number of Russian casualties in this war has already exceeded 16,000 killed. Among them are senior commanders. There have not been reports about killed Russian colonels, general or admirals yet. But the commander of one of the occupying armies and deputy commander of the Black Sea Fleet are already there. The armed forces continue to repel enemy attacks in the south of the country, in Donbas, in the Kharkiv direction, and in the Kiev region. By restraining Russia's actions, our defenders are leading the Russian leadership to a simple and logical idea: talk is necessary, meaningful, urgent, fair, for the sake of the result, not for the sake of the delay. 16,000 Russian servicemen have already died. For what? What does it give and to whom? The conversation must be meaningful. The Ukrainian sovereignty must be guaranteed. Ukraine's territorial integrity must be ensured. That is, the conditions must be fair. And the Ukrainian people will not accept others. During the week we managed to establish 18 humanitarian corridors. A total of 37,606 people were rescued from the blocked cities. In particular, 26,477 Mariupol residents were evacuated from Mariupol to Zaporizhzhia via the humanitarian corridor. The situation in the city remains absolutely tragic. The Russian military does not allow any humanitarian aid into the city. They only use Mariupol residents in fakes for their propagandists, pretending to start giving something to people. I will continue to inform the nations of other countries in great detail about such disgusting cynicism of the occupiers, about all the war crimes of Russia against the civilians of our heroic Mariupol and other cities of Ukraine. It is very important, I want to emphasize, not only politicians and government officials, but nations. Everyone on the planet needs to know what Russia is doing, so that the responsibility for crimes against the Ukrainian people becomes inevitable and as severe as possible for the Russian military. During the week alone, I addressed the parliaments of Italy, Japan, France and Sweden. I spoke at the summits of NATO, the G7 and the leaders of the European Union. Each of these speeches attracted maximum attention in the respective countries and in the world as a whole. The reviews show that the Ukrainian position was heard. And this is my main goal in such speeches. You know perfectly well what a powerful system of state propaganda Russia has built. They have spent and are spending tens of billions of dollars on it. Probably no one in the world has ever spent such crazy money on lies. But they did not take into account one thing. Where the path of lies needs to be paved with money and the result is not guaranteed, the path of truth is difficult, but the path of truth paves itself. The main thing is to be honest. Next week I will continue this important work for our interests. Interests of Ukraine. Interests of freedom and independence. I had a conversation today with Turkish President Erdogan. The results of the NATO summit were discussed. Of course, we also talked about the efforts that could bring peace closer to Ukraine and end this senseless Russian invasion of a foreign land. There is important news from our government officials. First, they have already started paying pensions for April. In particular, the pension fund has transferred to Usher Bank the entire amount of pensions for the Chernihiv and Luhansk regions. Tomorrow people will have money on their bank cards and Pochta will deliver cash. Tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, the payment of April pensions will continue in other regions of eastern and central Ukraine. The other day a wave of payments will cover the entire state. This is one of our priorities. The Ukrainian state has fulfilled and will fulfill all obligations to our citizens, to our pensioners. Second, under the support program, more than 20 billion hryvnias have already been paid to people who have lost their jobs or the opportunity to have business. The amount of payment is 6,500 hryvnias. Third, officials are preparing a new support program for our IDPs from the war zones. Regional administrations have been given a clear task to quickly allocate land for the construction of temporary housing for displaced persons. I want to emphasize once again this is temporary housing. Once we establish peace, we will begin the immediate large-scale reconstruction of our state. But now people need a temporary home. Their home, and it is better to have a home in Ukraine than somewhere abroad. We pay aid, we give a job. Native people, native country, all the details of this support program will be presented by Prime Minister Denys Shmyhal. And a few more words about the path of truth, about those who bring you and us true information about everything that is happening in our country. I would like to express special gratitude to our journalists today. To all those who ensure the work of the National Telethon United News, to all our media people. Correspondents, presenters, editors, media managers, cameramen, directors, video editors, makeup artists, producers, everyone without whom it is impossible to imagine television. Everyone he united and together with other defenders of our people provides Ukrainians with truthful information and, last but not least, confidence 24/7. I am grateful to all of you, and I'm sure I can say this on behalf of all Ukrainians. Glory to you all. Glory to all our heroes. Glory to Ukraine.